Hi, I'm Olivia, the Southern Yankee Stitcher. Welcome to my floss tube. This is number 43. And I'm getting on here, and I seem to say the same thing every time I make a video. It's been a while since I made a video, but it's been about a month and a half since I made a video. And it wasn't really intentional. I just kept putting it off, thinking, well, my craft room's too messy. I can't make a video in there. That's where my computer is, where I record. And or I'm real close to a finish. Let me finish this one first. And I used all those excuses, but my craft room is still a mess, as you can see around here. But you know what? This is a working craft room. I do all kinds of things in here, and it's just not ever going to look really pretty. So unless I get a upgrade my phone, I'm going to keep filming in here, and that's just how it is. So, but I've been feeling great. I've been doing a lot of stitching, and I have some finishes to show you. I've concentrated on several pieces that I wanted to finish, and some of you saw last video, some you haven't seen in quite a while. But I'm just going to go ahead and get started with my finishes. The first thing that I finished, I'm trying to get my charts and everything together here. Is by Luminous Fiber Arts, and it's called Boo-Hoo. It's these cute little pillows here, and or whatever you want to turn them into. I did pillows, and I think I had one finished last video, but I didn't have it fully finished. But I went ahead and fully finished them, and I chose not to put Boo and Who under the cat and the owl. Instead, I just added another star. I just liked it better that way. I finished it with some fabric that I found on Etsy. I tried to fussy cut a little bit here for the owl. Have a crow on the back, and for the cat, have a cat on the back. And this, I found this, like I said, on Etsy. But when I got the fabric, this is the fabric here. I just got a yard, well, half a yard maybe, of it. It actually came from Spoonflower. And it wasn't listed as Spoonflower on Etsy, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But I've done work with Spoonflower in the past. If you watch one of my real early videos, you'll see where I showed where I sent in images of my husband's grandmother's recipe cards and his mother's recipe cards, and I turned them into fabric and made tea towels for everyone in the family that year. And it was through Spoonflower, and so I was just like, huh, well, I'm glad to give them the business because they did a great job on that specialty fabric I did a few years back. Let's see, I don't know what the called for. Yeah, I used the called for floss on here, which was Weeks Carrot. And you can see that a cat got a hold of this. It's got little bite marks in the corner. And 310. That's all it was. Two colors. Carrot and 310. And then I got the Lady Dot Creates Mini Pom-Poms. I followed the instructions that I saw, I guess I saw it online, where you trim the pom-poms off of the like ribbon-like base that they're on, and it's just a matter of cutting one. It's just one thread that holds them on, and then I just glued them on. You know, a lot of people I've seen say they just glue them on instead of sewing them. And Colorado cross stitcher, she said she does that all the time, and so I thought, well, I'll try it. And you know what? It's so much easier. It is so easy to just cut those pom-poms off of there and glue them on. It's kind of like, why sew? I have sewed some on before, but the thing with Lady Dot is that you can take them off the ribbon, so you don't have to put the ribbon in the seam, which that's hard to get just right. So anyway, that's my first finish. I'm going to try and stay somewhat organized. I have a whole ironing board full of things and a floor full of things here. I have a lot to show y'all today. A lot of haul. Let's see. So my next finish. This was a magazine chart. I got it off Stash Unload, and I just loved it. And it says it's from Cross Stitch and Needlework. I have no idea what issue. Did it say? Cross Stitch and Needlework, that's all I can tell you. When you saw it last, I had the tree border done, and part of one straight line. That was it. Well, and I used DMC 115. It's the variegated red. Can you all hear that on my door? The cat's going nuts wanting in here. So I went ahead and finished it up. Now, I changed it a little bit. Just a little bit. I didn't want to put Christmas and a year on there. And so I spaced out the wording. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. And the Christmas trees, I was like, well, why don't I put stars there since it's about the stars are brightly shining? So I put 2 stars there instead of the Christmas trees. Changed it up a little bit. This is one of my favorite Christmas songs. I put this in this frame and I pinned it. It looked really straight before I stuck it in the frame. And here at the bottom, it's a little bit off. I can see a little wave over here too. I haven't put a backer on it. I put the nails on, but I'm going to probably pull it out and tweak this a little bit because it's going to bug me. I mean, I could put some greenery around it since it's going to be a Christmas decoration, but I need to make it right. I don't always frame with glass. In fact, often I don't frame with glass, but especially for, seasonal or holiday pieces because they're not out all the time. But this had a piece of glass in the frame that I used, a secondhand frame. Actually, what was in it is right here. I used the same board that was in there. It's like a matted, it's got multiple layers. I mean, this is a print, but then it's got 2 layers of matting plus a backer. And I put some batting in here, which you don't need to if you're going to put glass on it, but I did. And just kind of as a little bit of a barrier between it and the cardboard. I don't really care if it's acid-free. I don't think this is a museum piece, but I do really like it, and I think it's going to be really pretty at Christmas time. So that was that one. And then I have one more finish, and I'm so excited about this finish. This is Quaker Welcome by Lila Studio. I started this during StitchCon 2022, and I had put it away for months and didn't work on it, and I pulled it back out and started back on it. I kept this for a while. I kept this in my bedroom, and before I went to bed each night, I would sit up and I'd put at least a thread or 2 in it, and it's so much black stitching that goes pretty fast. When I showed this last video, I had done all but a few letters over here, and then none of the bottom was done. So yesterday I finished it up. I went through my frames and picked a frame out. This is just popped in here now. I haven't pinned it yet. But this is my finish. Quaker Welcome. And I really love it. You look at this color here. I used the called for colors, and the called for are, well, I switched out one. The black called for Onyx from Gentle Arts. Gentle Arts, yeah. There's Garrison Green from Weeks, Hazelnut from Weeks, Grapefruit from Weeks, and the rest were DMC colors. Everything I use the same except the Onyx. I just use 310. I like that. I like 310. But this grapefruit color from Weeks here, you'd think it's just so bright it wouldn't go. But it just, I don't know, I like that pop. I love the willow tree. Love all of it. Now, I made some mistakes in here. I told you last time I forgot the 0. Well, I forgot the 8. I had 790 because I was working backwards. I like to work from right to left. I know it's backwards. It's just the way I like to work. So I took out the last 2 numbers and just switched it. Don't have a 0 on there. You know how a lot of times alphabets are missing the J. Well, these don't have the J's, but there's no X. But that's how it's charted, so that's how I did it. Anyway, I'm real happy with this. And like I said, I haven't finished it yet. I'm going to pin it. I will put some batting in there and pin it. I will frame this without glass because I don't have glass for this frame. But I really thought initially I wanted a frame that's more like a light brown, kind of an oak color. But when I had a frame that wasn't quite the right size, and when I put it up to it, I don't know, it just didn't look good. Just didn't look good. This, even though I wouldn't have thought this cherry looking frame would go, I like the way it looks. So those are my finishes. And when I got close to a finish on that Quaker Welcome, I was working on it all the time. That was my, I was stitching on it pretty much monogamously, except for I'll show you some whips I've been working on. Pardon me a moment. I guess I'll jump right into the whips. I was able to stitch at work, which, normally I don't stitch a lot at work. I'll do the sleds, and I still have those as a whip, but they're in my bag, and I didn't pull them out. I haven't done a whole lot on the sleds because I was working on this one. I had a co-worker who was out for about 2.5 weeks because of her father got very ill and then he passed. So she was out for that. And so that meant I was sitting on the front desk, and the things I can do out there are kind of limited. So I was able to stitch. And this is a piece by Thread Milk. It's called Wonder With Me, and I got it at the Great Outdoors cross stitch retreat I attended in the spring at Pandas Crossing, which is my LNS. And this is just like seemed like a little fall piece to me. And so I thought, I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. Plus it's on, I believe it's 32 counts, so if I have good light, I don't need magnification. So I carried this around. Yesterday I had doctor's appointments, and I took my car in for an oil change, and so I was stitching whenever I could while in the waiting room. But before I started on this, like probably the last time I showed it, all I had done was the toadstool and the snail on top, and that was it. So I've gotten a good bit done. And it's really, I was like, it's cute, but, I probably wouldn't have bought it if I hadn't, got it at the retreat. But the more I work on it, the more I love it. This is where I am so far. I have not done the bunny's tail. I'm going to do that in the, what's this stuff called? What's it called? I don't have it in here. Well, it's the fluffy stuff anyway. Can't remember what it's called, but you know what I mean. So I have to do that. I have to put a beak on the bird, and then what do I have left? Oh, some more leaves and the hedgehog. And when we got these, she gave us instructions for a finish and everything to do it. And you finish it by wrapping it around a a canvas. I guess just what you call them, frame canvas, and then put this piece of fabric and these little wooden cutouts along the bottom. I'm not sure I'm going to finish it that way. I'm going to see. I have some cute little frames, and if it fits in a little frame, I might use that instead. But I should have this done pretty soon. I actually started a stitch group here in my town, and we're meeting once a month at Panera to stitch. And we had our first stitch in last month, and it was me and 2 other people. And there was another that was going to come that wasn't able to. Turn my ringer off. So this time, so it was just 3 of us then. I think it's going to be 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 this time. And one lady I think is bringing. She said, "Can I bring crochet?" I'm like, "You bring whatever you want to work on, you know." But one lady I'd never met before. Her son and husband work with my daughter, and I mean, you know how it is with stitchers. You know, it's just kind of universal. You just seem like fast friends because you have something in common, and even if it isn't, I don't know, we just hit it off. And anyway, so I'm looking forward to. I'm going to take this tonight. Is our second stitch in, and I think I'm going to take this one because it's an easy stitch. My other whip is Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. I don't know where I was on this when I last showed it to you. I still have it on the bed sheet. It's a humongous piece of fabric. I need to cut it. I just need to, you know, just do it. I don't know why I haven't. Except I have other things in this bag that are probably also going to stitch on this fabric. But I have another sampler, which I showed you all before, of my childhood home. And I haven't, none of the fabric I have is just right. But this one actually might, oh, that's blowing out. This one might be. How far back can you get to it? So I don't know. But anyway, there it is, Strawberry Fields Forever. Of course, I got the border done and everything. I just have to do that middle part. This is on 36 counts. What is this fabric called? 36 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. It's on a fat half. This tiny chart of a fat half. I'm going to cut that in a few minutes. When I'm done this video, I'm going to cut it because I think this fabric might work for that other sampler. But I'm going to a retreat this weekend at Panda's Crossing. She has a retreat there. Donna's the owner. She does a retreat every spring and every fall. And I guess this will be my 3rd retreat there. She gives you your chart, floss, fabric, finishing supplies for almost everything. Everything I've gone to, she's given you all the finishing supplies to finish it the way she did. She kind of warned us that she's not always going to give all the finishing supplies because so this time I think we might get some that don't have it. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I still have a lot of Christmas ornaments and small Christmas charts that I got at the last year at the fall retreat, which was Christmas themed. And I haven't finished those. So most of what she gives you an option of either Aida or linen. or even weave. Even weave / linen, whichever she picks, or Ada. And I go with linen or even weave, but they're in a larger count, meaning like a larger stitch. 2832, something like that. So most of those are easier for me to do when I'm not at home. I don't need as much magnification. With real good light, I can work on them most of the time, depending on the color of the fabric. So I'm going to start putting, once I finish this one, I just showed you with the little woodland animals, I'm going to start moving on to some of the other ornaments and try and have those in my bag all the time where I can work on them wherever I am. I guess now I'll show you my haul. No need in dragging this video out. I told you about the Lady Dot pom-pom that I used on the Boohoo pieces. I ordered it in several other colors. Here's one of the colors, and you can see the little ribbon that you cut off. You can see there. Can you see where it's only held on by one little string there? See how you can just pull it off? Pull it off and pull that string out. And they're connected between the two of them. They don't have to be connected to this little, oops, they're connected between the two of them. They don't have to be connected to this little ribbon thing. So that's what I was talking about separating them. It's easy to do. It's a little bit tedious, but it's not hard. But while I was ordering, I went ahead and got mini pom-poms in several colors. I got this Lush Lawn. Brick House. It's a little more orangey than it's showing up. I have a window behind me. I have the shades closed and or blinds closed and the shears pulled, but it's still kind of bright. Jack. Again, that's a little bit more prim the color that it's showing. Union. And then I got some Rick Rack and Storm Blue. So I've had these purchases kind of like laying out here. I had a big pile. It was getting to be a big mess because I didn't want to put them away before I showed you all because I forget. These are in no particular order. I was watching Two Needles Pulling Thread, and she showed some of the pre-cut wooden pieces that she purchased. And hold on a moment. I'm backing up a little bit. I went to Pop Shelf. We've had a Pop Shelf here for months, but I haven't gone in there. My youngest daughter went in. She got a bunch of things that she used at a bridal shower, that kind of thing. And I went in one day because I was waiting to get a haircut next door. And so when I got my hair chopped off, which I'm not sure I like it. I kind of straightened it a little bit yesterday. I never really liked my hair. Anyway, so I went in there, and their off-season things were like 70% off. So they had some of these. How do you see the birds? Goodness gracious. There. The spring is coming. Well, I thought I would pop this off and cover and get a wrap cross stitch around it. I have maybe even changed the background. I have some Prairie Schooler charts that are farm animals, and they're done in a round pattern. It's almost like full coverage. I'm not sure if this is the right size or these are the right size. I got these at Walmart. And they were something like, I don't know, maybe $2. And it's 6 wooden pieces pre-cut. So I just got these for finishing. This was $2, 70% off. I paid, what, I want to say 60 cents each. Some of them have like a plaid background. But I thought maybe I could use these and do something with them. They were so cheap. I got 6 of them. There's like 6 farm animals, but I don't know if I will hang 6 of these things. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to use these. It was an impulse buy. But I know I could use one of them somewhere. I just don't know where. So anyway, also at Pop Shelf, I got one of these little things. And it was $3, but I think it was on sale. What about that? That's about all there is from there. Okay, I have some more charts to show you that I purchased. I went on Brennan Gervais' site and ordered a couple of charts. One of them is At Home. I was so excited to see this come out a couple months ago. If you read the bottom here, it says a brick house on a stepped terrace flanked by trees, so commonly seen in 18th century Frederick County, Maryland samplers. I'm from Frederick County, Maryland. So I was real excited that I knew that she was going to be putting out a series of charts based on Frederick, Maryland things. And I'm super excited about that. While I was on there, I couldn't resist picking up this one, Keeper of the Pens. I've never done anything like this before, but watching, what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. I know most of you are probably screaming at me because she recently did a craft room tour and she showed all these little mice and bears and little animals that she'd made. Dang. Anyway, she inspired me to get this and try it. I don't know when I'll do this, but I sure want to. Whoever you are incredible inspiration to Stitchers. And I'm going to remember your name and I'm going to tag you in this video. There's another chart that I've been watching for a while. And I think I got this off eBay. And this is by River Drift House Needlework Designs. It's a Jane Austen cross stitch sampler. This came as a kit. 3 colors. It comes with a, what I have to do, off-white Aida. I'm not going to use Aida. I don't know that I'll have to change the colors, but I'm definitely going to prim up the fabric. I love Jane Austen. I love all of her books. It's one of those things I never get tired. Like, I'm not a big reader. I have read her books. A few of them I read multiple times, but I love watching the movies a lot. What you all maybe don't know is I was a big winner. I was a big winner a couple videos ago. Stacy the 9-1 Stitcher had a giveaway, and I put my name in for this book right here, and I won it, and I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I've been wanting to do some stockings, and this has 13 stockings in it that are all kind of fallish. Let's see if I can show them to you. Some of them, if you change the colors, it could be anything. Candy corn. I'm trying not to show you the chart on the opposite page. I really like that one. That one too. I love the ones with houses on them. So I probably won't get any of these stitched and finished before this Halloween, but next Halloween I should have them done. So anyway, Stacy, thank you, thank you, thank you. She even included some other little goodies like a sweet note, a tape measure, which I don't have one of these. I've purchased similar ones and given them as gifts, but I didn't have one for myself. And this will probably go in my purse because I'm always looking for picture frames. And I went through a lot of my samplers and I measured them out what they were going to be so I could be on the look for a frame that would fit them. I have a stash of frames now, but I don't want to get so many that I can't store them. They're becoming a burden. So I'm trying to be a little more selective in my frames. That being said, I have a big stash. I have big haul of frames to show you. But she sent some floss drops. Anyway, it was very generous, Stacy, and sorry it took me so long to say thank you. And I sat it on my pile of things to show my video, thinking I was going to record a video pretty soon, and then I didn't. And I didn't get your thank you note sent out because I set it aside and out of sight, out of mind. So I'm sorry and thank you, and you will still get a card. Okay. This is haul that I was supposed to show last video, and I didn't. Y'all, this one thing is like taking me back to the 90s, early 90s country decor, which is probably out of fashion, but I thought this was so cute. I just liked it. Big she had 2 little bunnies in her apron. Oh my God, I just thought that was so cute. And there's a thrift store that's going out of business. So I stocked up a little bit on stuff that they had there. Things that I kind of would look at them and say, do I really want that? They were like clearance marked, and they're always very reasonable. They're very cheap, really, at that thrift store. So anyway, I got this little box here that holds coasters. And the coasters are in it, but I think I'm just going to put stitching on the top and toss the coasters. It's just a nice little box. Then I have this, which, you can hang some stitching on that. And it was 50 cents, and I think everything was a discount on top of that when I bought these. Then I got some stickers, but they're all like sewing theme stickers. I thought they were so cute. I love the colors of them and everything. They're no longer sticky. That's how old these are. But they're like new in the package, but not sticky anymore. So I just glued them. I just used glue stick and glued them in my book. It's fine. Then I'm not really a big Aida stitcher, but you know, I've recently stitched some things in Aida. You know, did all those things for my monthly things for my door at work, prairie schooler, and they were all in Aida. It's not that I'm against it. It's just not my preference. But here's some Aida. And that's probably like an 18 count. All of these are kind of a larger count, smaller stitch. There's that like oatmeal color. A couple of those. A couple of these like kind of golden color. And then a couple of them in orange. I can maybe even do some of the stockings. Some of the Blackbird stockings might look cute on those because it's a pretty high count Aida. That's an idea. Sorry for all the paper. Crinkle, crinkle. Okay. Then this is at a thrift store, and I don't remember how much I paid for this. But anyway, heirloom Christmas stockings and cross stitch. One of the ladies in my new stitch group said that she wanted to do like heirloom stockings for everyone. Well, these are the ones, if you've watched Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, I think she did a lot of these stockings that are in here. That's like a little workbench. Be a great one for like the dad of the family. Musician. I'm going to take this to show it to her tonight because there's some really pretty ones in here. Put it aside. Also got this classic alphabets. I mean, you can always use it in the alphabet. Then I got this. It's giant. I love it. It's kind of like a clover. And it says Mary B. Needle Arts and Crafts. In there. That was $1.50. Then I got some vintage trims, Rick Rack, and this is seam binding, but this is good on top of if you make a strawberry. I know you wouldn't do a strawberry and orange, but you might do something else for fall. It makes a good kind of floppy ribbon. And then there's just some thimbles and DMC and a bunch of little things in this pack. I just grabbed it. Every time I see a thimble, I grab it if it's, cheap. How many thimbles do I need? I don't know, but it's a collection thing. So I also, this is a thrift store, got some fabric. They just had just some cuts of fabric, and I just love them. I also got, there was an antique store that was closing, and they had like an open house, yard sale kind of thing, and I missed it. And then they listed a couple things on Facebook for sale. Pardon me. And so I saw a corner cabinet, and I asked if I could come by and take a look at it. So she She met me there after work one day, and the corner cabinet wasn't really what I wanted. It was just bigger than it looked in the picture, and it just wouldn't work in my space. So, but she still had a lot of things, and I said, well, it's okay if I shop around. She said, oh yeah. So I did. I shopped around. One thing I got, everything was cheap, cheap, cheap. It's at least 50% off everything. The prices, the way they were priced. But then she actually took it a little further and she just did a bundle for me, So this I think is actually a bedspread, but I thought it was a tablecloth when I bought it. The reason I think it's a bedspread is one end is kind of split where you would, at the end of the bed, you would have some that would fall between the rails and then some that would fall over the rails. So I'm sure it's for a bed, but it's such a skinny bed. I don't know, but I will use this somehow. It may not be like as a tablecloth or a bedspread, but just as other decor. But it was so pretty. It's handmade. It's got some age on it. I love the stars. I love anything patriotic, and that was just like, oh, man, I can make that patriotic. That same store, I got a bunch of frames, and I could have gotten more. When I went through my samplers and measured them, figured out what they were going to be after they were stitched, the plan was to go back to that store because they were going to have one final sale like the next Saturday. Well, I think my sister came to town or something. I can't remember what was going on, but I couldn't get out there anyway. But I measured everything with the intention of going out and looking at measuring some of her other frames because I left a lot of frames there that were antique and some were ornate, but they were larger. And I didn't want to get a bunch of really large frames and just not be able to use them. So any that were kind of reasonable in size, I grabbed. The prices on here, you can't even, don't even pay attention to that because that's not what I paid. It's much cheaper. I thought this was really cool. Even though it's a little bit, has a little bit missing there, I don't mind that. I have no idea what I'm going to put in this, but I just love the frame. Here's another one where I just love the frame. I love these cross, I don't know, cross corner oak leaf frames. I have one up there that doesn't have the leaves on it, but I've always loved them. That long punch paper needlepoint piece I have has the leaves on it too. This is actually one of a pair, but the other one was broke up. The frame was broke. So I separated the pair, which I hate doing that kind of thing. And I kind of like the print. Somebody wrote in here, and it's with, you can tell it's like with a fountain pen, September 57. I don't know if that's 1957. I would assume so. Anyway, we'll see what I find when I pull this back off. It's another one, just a little scalloped. And these two are also the same scalloped kind of edge. They sure they're kind of red right there. They are not. They are not red. Lighting is strange. These two are metal frames. I've always seen metal frames like this. It seems like with a religious picture in it. But I thought they were pretty too. These next two frames, I got these at a thrift store. And they're real nice, heavy frames. And this last one, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so heavy and chunky. I thought it was going to work for this piece, but it wasn't quite big enough. I bet it turned wrong. Just wasn't quite big enough. Gosh, it looks like it is now, doesn't it? Okay, try this. No, not even close. Not even close. I knew I tried it before. So anyway, my last little purchase is this broom. It's also at that little antique shop that was going out of business. And I'm going to stitch a fall piece to go around here like a band. And just use this for decor. I love the red straw. It's kind of cool. Orangey. It's actually more orange. Everything's showing up red in this light. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's enough. I have some giveaway winners to announce. So, first one, Little House Needleworks, Blackbird Inn, goes to Sharon Mahon, Sharon MAHON 1656. Email me at southernyankeestitcher@gmail.com and I will put this in the mail to you. These two Dimensions kits go to Gina Cates, CATES 6110. Gina Cates 6110. Gina, send me your address. Then we have the ornament bundle and the summer mussings. And they go to A Prater 00. APRATER 00. Congratulations, winners. Again, just send me your mailing address to southernyankeestitcher@gmail.com and I will get those in the mail to you this week. My plans, are not to have any plans. I did finish the Quaker Welcome, which is, I guess, technically a sampler. And that's the only thing I did really for Sampler September. I had intended on starting a bunch of pieces. And I was feeling great, stitching and could have, but I just wanted to get some things done. I don't like having a bunch of WIPs. I don't enjoy it. And if these I'm doing, I'm changing it to honor my mother. I don't have a lot to do on that one. I just have her name to put on there and the cat and that bottom border, and it's done. But I had to chart her name, which wasn't a big deal, and pick out colors for the cat. And I had some help with that on Instagram. But I just haven't got back to that piece yet. I don't know why. I just wasn't feeling it. So my plans are to do whatever I feel like doing. I've been watching people with their WIPGO boards and everything. I thought maybe I need to do WIPGO and it would help me get some things done. Don't think I like it though. I don't think I like it. I like stitching. It's a hobby that I enjoy. I want to stitch on what I want when I want. So that's my plans, is to stitch on what I want when I want, and I'll update you all just, as soon as I can, as soon as I have some things to share. Um, I'm going to be taking a trip. I'm on fall break from school right now, and um, I'm off this week and next. My grandsons are coming into town this weekend. I'm going to pick them up actually on Thursday, and so get to spend some time with them this weekend. I also have during the day the retreat at Panda's Crossing, and it's just go there during the day and come back home. And the next week I'm planning to take a trip, and I want to go to Jamestown in Virginia. I love history and I love genealogy. And I found out probably a couple years ago that I have an ancestor that was in Jamestown. He was a captain in Jamestown, and all the years I lived in Maryland, well, I was a lot closer than I am now, and the 7 years I lived in Virginia Beach, where I was real close to Jamestown, I never went and toured, the old Jamestown. So I'm planning to do that. I want to just stop wherever I feel like stopping and go to antique shops. I'd like to go to some stitching places. I've been trying to get a hold of Not Forgotten Farms. Plan to stop there and see a friend who lives near there. But I haven't heard back from her, and I think she's only open on Saturdays, so I'm not sure I can work that out. I was going to go there first and then head on up through Virginia, and then I'm ultimately going to Maryland to see my two sisters, and they live about an hour apart, I guess. And I thought I'd stay with one of them one night and the other one the next night, so we have some good sister time together. And I'm really looking forward to that. Just kind of getting in the car, no huge plan, and just seeing where it takes me. If I have time to stop off at Mount Vernon, I might do that too. I think I was there as a kid. I don't really remember it, but I'd like to go back. Monticello also, I'd like to go there. So there's a lot of history in Virginia, a lot of pretty places in Virginia. So that's what I'm going to be doing next week. Provided I don't have problems with the fence guy that's coming to my house. I need to tell you all this. I didn't show you or tell you about the new addition to our family. I had a friend post on Facebook that this mother dog and puppies showed up in her yard. She needed to find homes for them. It was 7 puppies. She thinks they looked healthy. She thinks they were dumped. And, really looking for homes for them. Well, there was one of them I saw in the picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need that dog. I don't need a dog. But anyway, my daughter sent me a copy of it, text it to me. I'm like, I know they're cute, but no. And I made the mistake of putting a comment on her Facebook post saying, oh, I really want one of them. Not really being serious about it. But she started texting me on my way when I was on my way home from work, and so you come by and look at them. I said, okay, I'm going to come by and look at them. Then my oldest daughter, met me there. We went home with 2 puppies. Not 1, 2. Because I thought, oh, well, if they'll keep each other company. So I might as well get 2. So we have it home. We name them. We thought one was a male, one was a female. It's kind of what she said. Maybe I got mixed up with which one she pointed out. Got home, they're both males. And I really prefer to have a female dog, but the one male had the coloring that I really liked. And anyway, so we have them home for the night, and we've named them. We named them Big and Rich. and they were going to be Kenny and Dolly. But then we realized one was that they were both boys. We named them Big and Rich. So then the next day, it's kind of a long story. When the dogs were first found, she heard like car doors. My friend heard car doors like in her front yard, right in front of her house in the road. Look out there. It was a guy we used to work with. He was the son of an attorney we both worked for. And he was trying to get all the puppies together and out of the road. Oh, gosh, I just hit the computer. Sorry, y'all. And she opened up her gate, put some dog food in there, got them all on the fence. Well, he ended up getting there before I did, looking at the puppies, and he took the mama and 3 of the puppies. One of the puppies he was taking to his dad was the one that I saw and I wanted, but that's okay. It was okay. So the next day, they find the owner. I think the mother had actually run off because she was trying to wean the puppies. 7 of them followed her. The mother and her sister went in heat, got out of their fence and got to there, and they are Anatolian Shepherds, which are huge dogs that can get 150 pounds. They both got to the other dog that was on the property. I guess he was on the property. And he's a Great Pyrenees. So not all of the puppies that were with her were actually her puppies. Some of them were her sister's puppies. It's 15 total that they had at this farm. And it was kind of like across the street from my friend's house, but down a long lane. They have a real long driveway. So she had never seen the dogs before. Had no idea, whose they were and everything. So the same guy that got the dogs, that got the mama and the 3 puppies, came back, picked the puppies up from us. I was at work, picked them up from my daughter, was taking them back to the owner after they found the owner. The owner's like, I'm not sure they're ready to be away from their mother. You actually, like the ones I had, one was from each litter, and the litters were a week apart. So he said he was going to sell them. He had a price that he was going to sell them for. And so I get a text from the guy who took the dogs back for me, and he says, you want to pay this much for the dogs and keep them? And I was like, no, I don't want to pay. I mean, I've never paid for a dog except like the fee you might pay at the Humane Society to have them fixed and stuff. He negotiates a price, and I end up paying for the dogs. And it was cheap, but so my daughter goes back later that day, goes to him, sees, the owner, talks to him a little bit, gets the dog and bring him back. Well, that was it's kind of late August is when that was. About the 25th of August, something like that. I tried, gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. I tried and tried to get a fence contractor to come out and give me a quote to fence part of my backyard. And I really wanted to do black chain link because I wanted to hold up if I was going to put money into it, but I wanted it to not look so ugly because I'm not a fan of chain link fence. I called 3 contractors. Only 2 of them returned my call. Made an appointment for one of them to come, and I think he had to reschedule one time. But he finally came out, and it was a good while before he came out and gave me a quote. The other guy rescheduled 4 times. It was like, it's raining today, I can't come. It's raining today, I can't come. I was in a car accident, I'm trying to recover, I can't come. Then a tree fell and hit my truck, I can't come. The next time was just a no-show. And I said, you know what? I've been very understanding. I've adjusted my schedule 5 times. Don't bother to call me again. To schedule a quote. The no-show, I'm done. I'm done. I've been more than understanding with your excuses. And he said, well, I probably am too busy to take on a new job anyway. I'm like, well, if that was the case, you should have told me that to start with. So I start calling some more fencing contractors, get another guy to come out. Well, he really talks like he knows what you could tell he's done this a good bit. The other guy that gave me a quote did not fill me with confidence. I think he would have gotten in over his head on this job. So, anyway, I hired the second guy that gave me the quote. I'm getting 5-foot chain link fence put in. They're coming Monday to do it, so in about a week. I'm going to get them started on the job, and then I'm heading out of town. My daughters will be here. My son's a couple miles away. They can FaceTime me if they have a problem. But right now, we've had the dogs, these 2 growing dogs, and I'm going to insert some pictures. They've been in our screen porch. And my screen porch needed to be replaced, really. I had somebody frame it up. I did the screening myself. I went like from ceiling to floor with screen. Most people do about 3/4 of the top 3/4 in screen and the bottom wood. I can see why, because the wood along the bottom all rotted from rain. Just rain hitting it. Even though it was painted and everything. So it was kind of rotting out, and I was going to have to replace it. But those dogs have torn the screen. We've gotten every scrap piece of wood we had in my husband's shed and put it up to, keep them from escaping. Because our next door neighbor, he I think got a little bit mad that they were in his yard, and I can understand you want to keep your yard clean, and they did their business in his yard. I'm like, I promise you, I've been trying and trying for months to get somebody to give me a fence quote and to get a fence installed. Like, I'm ready to just get it done. So hopefully, this guy will show up Monday. They'll get started good, and I can just leave and not really worry about it. But he said it's going to be like a week-long job, which I had no idea it would take that long. No clue. So anyway, my youngest daughter says to me, do you think that there might be some underlying reasons why we got these dogs? Like, we were all in on it. It's not like anybody said, no, we shouldn't. I was the one who said, no, we shouldn't. And I was like, hey, guess what? Let's get the dogs. But, a couple days after my husband passed away, we found the kittens that we, bottle fed, syringe fed, and raised, and are now, like our children here inside the house. And then, like 5 days after the anniversary of my husband's death, we get these puppies. We're like, are we trying to fill a void with some animals? Probably so. But, it is what it is. So, they are sweet dogs. They are escape artists. So, and I'll be so glad when we have a fence. The one dog that I picked out that has more coloring on his face, you'll see pictures soon. He's super smart and super protective. He wants to be right beside either me or my oldest daughter, like touching our legs when he's walking. She was outside walking them by herself, and something kept swarming her head, and she felt it land on her head. I think it was a horsefly. So she kind of does one of these numbers and is screaming. The dog went nuts. He was like yelping and barking and jumping all over the place, and then got up right beside her and wouldn't leave her side. Super protective. Super protective. They're born to they're were raised and bred to protect herds. I don't think they necessarily herd them like a border collie or cattle dog, we've always had border collies, but they protect them. So, and they love having a job like that. He's super smart. The other one, He's just not so smart, and he's kind of like gets into more mischief than the other. Um, hmm, I don't know. I just don't know about him. I hope he matures and becomes a better dog, but um, you can definitely tell that one is much more intelligent than the other. Even though he's sweet, he's sweet. So I'm hoping that in the spring I'll get some chickens. I've wanted chickens for years. We had chickens growing up. I know what it's like to have chickens. My mother was like, "Why in the world would you want chickens?" I just do. You know, they'll be kind of like pets that give you eggs. So the plan is to have chickens in the fence with the dogs, so they have a job to protect the chickens, and it's a very large fenced area. I'll have to show you, take some video of it once it's put in. Anyway, so um, I guess that's it. And if you stuck it out this long, thank you for sticking it out this long. For those giveaway winners, don't forget to email me so I can get these out to you. And I'll just say happy stitching. Bye.